Welcome to the Commercial Real Estate Show. Thanks for joining us to lead, learn, and laugh. I'm Michael Bull, your host to the world of commercial real estate. Our topic today is social media strategies that work. You know, I've been reading about and utilizing social media myself for my show and my company for many years, and I've had the opportunity to interview a lot of people in the social media world on this show. I've also had the opportunity to speak at events with several social media experts. And one thing that I've learned that's very, very important through all of that is you really need a well-engineered social media strategy. Well, please welcome my guest today, Les Atkins, CEO and founder of Orange SMS, Social Media Solutions. Les, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, Les, as we've talked on panels before, I've been really impressed with you providing an overall strategy, because I think when a lot of business people and companies get involved in social media, they start working in some of the systems and they haven't really thought of a good plan. What are some preliminary considerations for a company or a business user when they just get started, or maybe they've started and it's not working that well? What should they consider as an overall plan to get started properly?
Well, the best plan is a good strategy. Mm-hmm. And so one of the things that people in social media have a tendency to unfortunately not do is look at an overall strategy. They hire somebody who knows Facebook, or they hire somebody who knows LinkedIn, or they hire somebody who knows Twitter, or name your favorite flavor of the month. Mm-hmm. And then so they're stuck to that one platform. By having an overarching strategy that's a social business strategy, mm-hmm. they are able to look at everything they're doing and mirror it back to that strategy. And if it doesn't fit within that strategy, then they shouldn't do it. And so companies have strategies when they start their business. They have strategies on how to raise capital. They have strategies on how to expand. They have even exit strategies. But it amazes me how many people get into social media without any type of strategy at all. So the first thing that a company should do is work with an organization or work with internal to actually build an actual strategy.
So let's talk a little bit about that strategy. So what do you want to think about? Do you want to think about who your customers are? What are they interested in? Their demographic? What types of things would help you develop that strategy?
So one of the biggest things you need to determine is who's your audience. So there's kind of a list. So who's your audience? What do you want that audience to do other than just buy stuff? Because everybody's like, well, I want them to buy stuff or buy my services or products.
Right.
But what do you want them to accomplish? What shift in their behavior do you want to have happen?
Buy stuff.
But yeah, buy stuff, exactly. And then the strategies around there. And then the last thing is to choose the platform or the technology that you're going to use based on the answers to the first two. Now, your audience may be segmented, so you may have several different audiences depending on your organization and your company. So you may have to have a strategy for every single one of those audiences. And there's a really kind of shift happening where the audience is determining, the strategy they want from you, as opposed to you just saying, okay, we're going to tell them that we want them to go into our stores, or we want to tell them that we want them to buy a widget. The audience has turned and it's changing on, I'm going to tell you how to tell me how to shop with you and how to work with me. And so you need to understand both innovation, what's happening out there in the world, the innovation and technology from a mobile standpoint, as well as from the social media standpoint, to understand that your strategy is fluid. It's not something that you're just going to sit down, knock out, and then be done. It's a very fluid strategy. You have to always keep looking at it. But the first thing to do is start with the strategy.
Okay, and that's a good point. It's kind of like your website now. You used to, back in the day, you could make a great website and kind of leave it there and you were okay. And
right.
Now you have to adjust it, you have to change it, you have to provide information that attracts people and attracts the search engines, right?
Exactly, and also like user-generated content. Mm-hmm. So let me ask you a question, though. You've been doing this for several years and seen, the nice thing about people who've been doing social media for several years is they've gone through the bumps and bruises and mistakes, and it's still a learning process. So what have you found in your business that helps you out from a strategic point of view.
Yeah, you do learn what works and what doesn't
Exactly.
work, and how to save time. Our strategy is, we run the national radio show, and then we also have a commercial real estate business. So, in the commercial real estate business, a lot of our clients are in the Southeast, and they own real estate, or they run businesses that need real estate. And then we're also looking to attract brokers to, if they're considering a change, to consider our shop. So we put out information that we think is interesting to both our clients in the real estate industry that may want to buy or sell properties or need space for their business. And then we also put out information we think that might be interesting to real estate brokers and agents to kind of attract them. And I think the world has gone from push marketing, where companies really push their marketing out there, to really attracting people, hasn't it? Do you see that as well?
Yeah, I see a big difference. So, but it amazes me that there are a lot of big companies that are still using that push marketing, but it's more attraction marketing, meaning that you are trying to build that loyalty and trust. So companies that are winning that game are going to be here in the next 5 to 10 years. Companies that are losing that game, and the game is building that trust and loyalty, not just selling your services. So there's been it's kind of a paradigm shift. It's that old corporate model of what's my bottom line. And what we're finding and what we're seeing in the public in general is that they're kind of tired of that model. That if they believe in your organization, and it's an age thing, if they believe in your organization and they believe in what you're doing, then they'll be more likely to purchase your services or purchase your products or work with your organization. If they don't believe in your company or product, no matter how much you put out there, I mean, you can have it for free, and this audience, this demographic, this new group of people aren't going to do business with your company. So it's really about paying attention more to your audience and what they're doing, as opposed to trying to get your audience to do something from a perspective. So we talked about, you have to know what kind of behavior change you want them to make, but then you have to go back and say, okay, audience, how do you want us to make that behavior change? How do you want to go about making that behavior change? How can we help you make that behavior change, as opposed to, here, do it because we said so.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. A lot of our listeners are in the commercial real estate industry, and one thing that we've done, and I don't know that it's really working yet or not, with our Twitter accounts is, my Twitter account at Bull Realty and CRE_show, we put out information that might be interesting to people in a vast real estate world.
Right.
But then we have specific accounts like, industrial and Atlanta office space and things like that. And we try to tweet out information that is interesting to businesses that might want office space in Atlanta. So I think it's important as a business user or a commercial real estate user to look at who your customer really is and what's interesting to them, because if you're just pushing real estate information all the time and you really work with companies who lease space, well, they have other interests, and they're very rarely just interested in real estate. They want to know about HR, and they want to know about other things that affect their business, right?
And here's a big thing. I always hear the statement of, why do I care that you walk your dog? But here's the difference is,
I hope you walk your dog.
Exactly, I hope you walk your dog. But here's the difference is, people want to do business with people. So if you're just putting out business information and you're just putting out specific information, and I agree with you, you got to put out information that's valuable to them and adds value to their lives and their business work, things of that nature. But you also have to share about who you are, because when I do business with any type of organization, like even in your company, if I did business with you, I'm doing business with an individual inside that organization. And I think that's where social media and social business strategy allows me to get to know the people without coming to the actual office or coming to the
word social's in there, right?
Yeah, the word social's in there. Exactly, the word social's in there. So it's more of a social understanding, feeling like I'm connected with you, whether we've ever met or not. I mean, I want to know, if you have kids, I want to know about your kids, those type of things. And they're more likely to go to not only just do business with you, but come to work for your company, to promote your organization, if they look at you as an entity of individuals as opposed to just an entity that's trying to sell or increase your bottom line.
That's interesting, because occasionally I'll think, well, should I tweet that, I'm going for a boat ride today, and I think, well, who's going to care?
Exactly, yeah, but there will
a boat ride.
Yeah, but there are people, and so the people that will care are the other people that own boats.
Right.
And so, or the people that wish they own boats, or like the people that live on a lake. And so they're more likely to get their attention from just that one tweet, I'm going on a boat ride, than if you tweeted out, the legislation has changed for commercial realtors.
Right.
So I think both of those are important, but I think the biggest thing is to have that overarching strategy that reaches your audience from all levels.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. And so we're going to take a break here, but when we get back, we're going to talk about where your customers are, which systems they're on, and how to reach out to them the right way and have the right strategy for success. So stay tuned. More social media strategies that work. I'm Michael Bull, and this is the Commercial Real Estate Show. We'll be right back. The Commercial Real Estate Show is brought to you by your friends at Bull Realty, France Media, Atlanta Office Liquidators, and Wiseman, Nowak, Curry, and Wilco. For more information about these companies or to access additional show podcasts, videos, or blogs, visit commercialrealestateshow.com.